Hello everybody, my name is Steph Fun and I welcome you all back to my next video here in my series of videos talking about various theories, speculations, and predictions for the RWBY series. This is my next video in that series, and I know I haven't done one in a couple weeks, and I'm sorry about that. I was kind of busy, at work, and basically, I was doing videos with my cousin on PNT Gamers and stuff like that, so I haven't really had a chance to really do too much content, actually any content for that matter, on my own channel. But I'm back again, and I did promise when I did that thing about Neo and Torchwick and those speculations back then, that I had two more left on it, and this is the first of those two. And actually, since I said that, I've kind of thought up a few more. They're not fully into development, me thinking about them yet, compared to, say, something like these two right here, but they're coming too. So don't think that these are going to be the last two videos for the theories and speculations and whatnot. I am going to have more in the future. I don't know when those are going to come out, but I'm going to give you these two right now. RWBY fans, enjoy them. Now, the first of these two is going to be dealing with Summer Rose. Now, here's a question that I think a lot of RWBY fans have actually been asking and wondering, and we have no idea yet on what the exact answer is, because obviously we haven't really heard much about this character except that they're gone, and basically we haven't had any details on their disappearance yet, which is obviously going to come in later volumes. And that question is, what exactly happened to Summer Rose? What happened to Summer Rose? Like, where is she? What happened to her? Now, the obvious answer to that question is that more than likely she is dead, because they do have a memorial, a little gravestone type memorial for her near their house, near RWBY Yang and Tai Yang's house. At least I'm assuming it's by them. It's near the end of the forest on that one cliff. Now, we know that she's gone. That's the main thing we know, is that she's gone. She's out of the picture. Something happened to her quite some time ago, more than likely when Yang and RWBY were younger, because that's around the time Raven left as well. So it's been since they were like young kids. Now, the obvious answer is that she's gone, but does that mean she's dead, or is she missing? Is another option that could technically be there. The obvious answer is that she died, and actually being, her job being a huntress, she probably died in a major battle, some point that takes place before, the events of RWBY, when, they were younger. So that is, in of itself, probably the basic generic answer. But what kind of battle would she have died in? And if she died, is she confirmed dead or not? Because the only thing we basically know is that, I don't think they even mentioned that she fully died in the series. I think they just mentioned that she disappeared, or she's gone, or something happened to her. So they didn't come out fully and say that she died. So from that speculation, I'm assuming that if she did die, she didn't die in the front of someone like, Tai Yang or Crow or Raven, or someone that could confirm that she's dead. She died alone, more than likely. But if they didn't confirm if she was dead or not, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's dead or not. She could have just been lost, like fought in the battle, more than likely, because that's the only way I could see anything happening in the Summer Rose, actually, is that whatever happened to her happened in a battle, because that she's a huntress or whatever. So, and as of now, the only villain we know about in the series is basically, Salem's enemy forces. So more than likely, she probably was fighting against someone like Salem, or someone that was working for her, or something like that. Because we really don't know, and that's basically the same generic answer I gave for why Ironwood has injuries. But we really don't know if there are any other villains out there in the RWBY series that are not connected to Salem, because everyone we know so far, Mercury, Emerald, Cinder, Torchwick, Neo, all of them are somehow connected to her, to Salem, or people working for Salem. So that's the only enemy and we know. So more than likely, if whatever happened to Summer happened in the battle, it was somehow against, more than likely, Salem, because then that's somehow a way they could connect that into the story going forward, especially with RWBY eventually in the group, eventually going and fighting Salem in the future volume anyways. So that's the generic answer. So either what we can get from this is either A, she's dead, or B, she's just gone missing and disappeared in battle, and is more likely presumed dead. Because here's the one thing about that: the generic answer is basically, okay, we know that she's dead because there's a memorial gravestone in her name that RWBY goes and looks at in Volume 3. At the beginning and at the end, actually. And people say, oh, obviously she's dead, she's buried under there and whatever. But the thing actually is, we don't know if her body is even under that gravestone. We really don't. Maybe, if anything, maybe Tai Yang knows that she may not be down there and basically just stated to RWBY that she's down there, or maybe RWBY knows that she's not down there. It's just it could be just a gravestone that was made in her honor because she disappeared, and since she hasn't shown up and probably has gone missing, she's presumed dead. Who knows? We don't know if Summer's body is under that gravestone or not. That's the one thing we do not know yet, and we won't really know until more answers are revealed in future volumes. But we can kind of presume that either her death, either A, she died, and either she died without them noticing it, and they just made the gravestone, and her body's not under there, but she is dead. Or B, she is dead, was found by Crow, Raven, Tai Yang, someone, and her dead body's under there. Or she's not dead at all, she's just been gone missing, lost in battle or so, and they made a gravestone just as a memorial to her, especially because I'm more likely assuming Tai Yang would want to do it anyways. Yeah, I'm assuming he loved her or something, because somehow they got together after he was with Raven, and she comforted him or something, maybe when she left her. I have no clue. See, yeah, I know I didn't go into full detail on stuff that more than likely a lot of RWBY fans really didn't talk about in this, know about this topic. But I'm trying to kind of give my own insight on it, as loose as it actually is, and as not, as in-depth as it actually is. But that's basically a general thought for this theory, is like, she either is dead or she's not, but the gravestone was made to honor her regardless, whether her body's under there or not. And I'm assuming what caused her disappearance was somehow fighting Salem. Now, before I end this video, and I do probably want to do more on this theory, like I talked about with Team Stark's past video, because we don't know too much about that, and once we learn more about that, I want to do a part 2 of that theory. I actually want to do another part to this theory speculation as well. Once we start learning more about Summer, when and if that ever does happen, which more than likely it will, maybe not Volume 4, but probably Volumes 6, 7, 8, I don't know. But here's 2 off-the-wall ideas that I want to throw out there that kind of have come to my mind on this as well. One, somehow Summer has faked her death, which, judging by what we know about her, which is very little, except that she was like a caring mother and she seems a lot like what RWBY is like, I don't think that would be very likely, especially because I think she'd want to stay with her family unless she's protecting her family for some reason and she's still alive somewhere else. We don't know. Or 2, somehow she's evil and or connected to Salem, and I mentioned this in the Who is Salem video. What if Salem is not necessarily a single person, but like an entity, an evil spirit that maybe used to be a real person, like an evil witch or something that died, or evil grim monster witch thing that died, and somehow can maybe take over host? What if the Grim we saw, the Salem we saw was controlled like Summer or something? And I do know a lot of RWBY fans have actually kind of speculated on that, like, is Salem Summer? Or at least the Salem we see Summer. And is Salem an actual person, or is it an evil spirit that takes over people's bodies? I don't know. But those are 2 off-the-wall things. More likely, like I said before, the main part of this theory is either she's dead and died in the battle, or was, lost in battle, missing in action from a battle, and she's still alive. They made the gravestone to honor her. And we don't know the reason why or what happened, but more likely the battle was because she was during the battle because she's a huntress, and more likely against Salem's fortresses, Salem's forces, unless there's obviously another villain that's going to be introduced in this series, but we don't know about that yet. And 2 off-the-wall ideas: she faked her death for some mission, or because she wanted to get away, or something like that. But that doesn't really fit Summer's character as far as what we know of her so far. Or somehow she's become evil, somehow connected to the Salem character, who might very well be an evil spirit that can take over people's bodies, And that goes with my Salem theory on who that she is, and that regardless if she died in battle and her body's just being used as a zombie, or she was still alive and badly wounded and she's fighting against her will, like her mind's taking over, we don't know. But like I said, when we find more information about Summer, I want to do another theory on maybe what I think happened to Summer, maybe an updated video. Now, if what we learn doesn't really contradict any ideas I thought of here right now for this video, I might not do another one, but if it is more of an interesting theory and expands upon it where I can go more in depth on it, I will. And that's about it. My name is Stekis, so peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Stay tuned for more RWBY theories, speculations, prediction videos. I hope you guys like this one. Put in the comment section what you guys think. What do you think happened to Summer Rose? And I'll see you all later in the next video where I talk about Raven. Bye.